Go with our dark materials from yesterday, one of the most important books ever about prison camps. The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. What's crazy about this book is that he wrote a lot of it while he was in the Gulag and kept it in his head where they couldn't take it away from him. Apparently his memory was so sharp that he could be changing commas and periods in his head and editing the book as he went. And I know that Solzhenitsyn later became quite a rabid nationalist, and you can have a big discussion on his later views on his life, but this book was so important for blowing up how bad the Gulag system was in the Soviet Union. In the 30s, stuff started to come out that there was a Gulag system, but there were a lot of fellow travelers in Europe and the United States who thought, Stalin's a good guy, at least we know it's really bad at home, maybe he's the great savior. And this was the book that really helped put that to rest. You couldn't say that Stalin was a good guy after you read this. This was actually a book in 3 volumes, and they were gigantic. It was a piece of both journalism, collecting the stories that he'd heard inside and outside the Gulag, as well as a complete history. It was very well researched in how this came about. And one of the big things he did was he laid the Gulag system at the feet of Lenin, not Stalin. Lenin started this. For all of his high vaunting ideals, there was a prison system under him, and Stalin only took it to the next level. Solzhenitsyn also revealed how Khrushchev, in his famous speech, pushed back against the system and said we need to end at least the worst atrocities of this, which was a huge shift in what was happening. If you want to know how dark the world can get, this is a really important book to read. You don't have to read all 3 volumes. If you get through the first one, you have the general idea of what's going on. But the machinations of evil, how the bureaucracy of it is such an important part of people just pushing papers, just doing their jobs. As I said in my video yesterday, humans are built to obey authority. And if Stalin and his henchmen are saying, keep this system running, make it bigger, torture those who are in it, then it's going to happen. One sociological phenomenon that's interesting is the guards weren't the only torturers in this program. As often happens, some of the other prisoners were used to be the top ranks. In this case, it was the criminals who were at the top of the food chain in the Gulag system, and they were used to torture the political prisoners who were very much at the bottom. And you could get sent here for something as simple as criticizing Stalin in a letter, which is what Solzhenitsyn did. When this came out, it made a huge wave across the country, and was passed around in samizdat, which is secret books within Russia itself, even though it wasn't allowed to be published there.